Hello and welcome back to the Englishly podcast, the podcast that helps you speak English confidently, understand native speakers, and enjoy your learning journey. Today, we're diving into a topic that connects all of us, no matter where we're from or what language we speak, feelings and emotions. You experience emotions every day. Maybe you're happy, sad, nervous, or excited, but can you express those feelings naturally in English? In this episode, we're going to explore how native speakers really talk about their emotions, how to sound more natural, and how to understand emotional language in real conversations. So whether you're walking, relaxing at home, or commuting to work, this episode is perfect for improving your listening skills and your emotional vocabulary in English. Let's begin by talking about why feelings and emotions are so important in language. Emotions are at the heart of human connection. When you can express how you feel, honestly and clearly, you can connect with others more deeply. It helps you build trust, share experiences, and even manage conflict. But in English, people don't usually just say, I am happy or I am sad. They use phrases, idioms, and tone of voice to express feelings more naturally. That's why it's important to go beyond basic vocabulary, and that's what we'll practice today. Let's start with some core emotional words and how they're actually used in real life. We'll look at the feeling, hear some variations, and explore how the tone of voice can completely change how a message sounds. First up, happiness. The word happy is simple, but there are many more natural ways to say it. For example, cheerful, excited, glad, or thrilled. You might hear someone say, I'm so glad we met, or I'm thrilled to be here. And then there are idioms like, I'm over the moon, which means extremely happy, or that made my day, meaning something small made you feel really good. And remember, when expressing happiness, your voice usually sounds light, bright, and enthusiastic. Try smiling while speaking. It really helps your pronunciation too. Now let's talk about sadness. Of course, you can say I'm sad, but English speakers often use more emotional or descriptive words like upset, down, or heartbroken. For example, she's feeling a bit down lately, or he was heartbroken after the breakup. Idioms include feeling blue, or down in the dumps, which means feeling very low emotionally. These expressions are softer, more natural, and often sound more sincere than just saying I'm sad. Also, when you're expressing sadness, your voice is usually slower and a bit quieter. Tone matters a lot. Let's move on to anger. This is another strong emotion, and English has many ways to express it. Words like angry, mad, furious, or annoyed are common, depending on how strong the feeling is. You might hear someone say, I'm so mad about the decision, or he's really annoyed with his coworker. And of course, there are idioms like I hit the roof, meaning I became very angry, or I lost my temper. These phrases are colorful and help you sound more fluent, but be careful with your tone. When someone is angry, the voice is sharper, louder, and faster. Next, let's talk about nervousness. Feeling nervous, anxious, or tense is very common, especially before a presentation, an exam, or even a first date. In English, people say things like, I have butterflies in my stomach, which means I feel nervous and jittery, or I'm on edge, meaning I'm very tense. These idioms are used every day and can really help you understand how native speakers express stress or nervous energy. Try using them next time you feel anxious. It helps you sound natural and also helps others understand your mood better. Now, how about excitement? When someone's excited, they might say, I'm so pumped for the concert, or we're counting down the days. You'll also hear over the moon or jumping for joy. These phrases create a strong image and help communicate energy and anticipation. Just like with happiness, when you speak with excitement, let your tone rise. Speak with energy, and don't be afraid to sound enthusiastic. Sometimes we feel relieved, like when a stressful situation is finally over. People often say, "I was so relieved when the results came back," or "It felt like a weight off my shoulders." That last phrase is a popular idiom, and it paints a clear picture of what relief feels like. It's great for expressing how something heavy has been removed from your mind. Let's not forget frustration. That feeling when things don't go as planned, or you keep trying but it's not working. People say, "I'm getting really frustrated with this," or "I'm at my wit's end," which means I can't take it anymore. Frustration often leads to anger, so the tone can be short, sharp, or tired. Now let's hear a conversation using these emotions in a natural way. This will help you understand how native speakers express feelings in real life. You'll hear a conversation between Lily and Sam, two coworkers and friends. Let's listen closely. Lily: "Hey Sam, you look kind of stressed. Everything okay?" Sam: "Honestly, I'm overwhelmed. Work's been crazy. Meetings, deadlines. I just can't keep up." Lily: "That sounds really tough. Want to talk about it?" Sam: "Yeah, I'm just tired of pretending I'm fine. I'm frustrated and anxious." Lily: "I get that. It's okay to feel like that. I feel anxious when things pile up too." Sam: "And the worst part? Nobody notices. I smile, but inside I'm screaming." Lily: "I hear you. You're not alone. Talking helps, right?" Sam: "Actually, yeah. Just saying it out loud is a relief." Lily: "Exactly. You're allowed to feel what you feel." Sam: "Thanks, Lily. I feel a bit lighter now." That's a powerful and honest conversation. Notice how they used real emotional words: overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, relieved. These are the kinds of words you'll hear in daily English, not in textbooks. Now it's your turn to speak. Let's practice shadowing, a technique where you repeat what you hear. I'll say a sentence, then pause. You repeat it with the same emotion. Ready? Let's go. Soft, calm tone. "I feel a bit sad today." Happy tone. "She looks excited about her birthday." Frustrated tone. "He's so frustrated with the situation." Relieved tone. "I was relieved when it was over." Joyful tone. "We're over the moon with the results." Great job! Practicing with tone and emotion helps you sound more natural and improves your pronunciation. Keep doing this daily, and you'll notice real progress. Now, let's test your listening skills with a short story. Listen carefully and try to identify the emotions as they happen. Yesterday was such an emotional roller coaster. In the morning, I felt excited. I had an important interview, and I was looking forward to it. But as the time got closer, I started to feel nervous. My hands were shaking, and I had butterflies in my stomach. During the interview, I blanked out on a question, and I felt embarrassed. After it ended, I kept thinking about that mistake. I felt frustrated and disappointed in myself. But later, I called my friend and told them what happened. They listened and made me laugh. Slowly, I felt relaxed and even proud of myself for giving it a try. Let's review. What emotions did you hear? Right? Excited, nervous, embarrassed, frustrated, disappointed, relaxed, and proud. If you got those right, well done. Now, here are a few tips to help you keep improving your emotional vocabulary in English. Number 1, keep a daily emotion journal. Every night, write 1 or 2 sentences in English about how you felt that day and why. This builds fluency fast. Number 2, use flashcards with emotional words and idioms. Practice them out loud, and even better, use them in real conversations. Number 3, watch shows or movies with strong emotional scenes. Listen to how the actors express feelings. Try to copy their tone and expressions. And finally, number 4, talk about your emotions with friends, language partners, or even yourself. Role-playing is a powerful tool for confidence. Let's wrap up. Today, you learned how to express emotions naturally in English. You discovered useful vocabulary like thrilled, down in the dumps, overwhelmed, and relieved. You listened to a real-life conversation, practiced pronunciation with emotion, and even tested your listening skills. If you want to speak English fluently, you need to express your emotions clearly and naturally, and now you have the tools to do that. Thanks so much for listening to the English Leap podcast. Be sure to follow or subscribe, and leave us a review if you enjoyed today's episode. And hey, would you like a free PDF workbook with today's vocabulary, shadowing transcript, and practice questions? Just let us know and we'll send it to you. Until next time, stay confident, stay curious, and keep speaking English every single day.